Hello, Facebook. Hello. As you all are coming on, just go ahead and give me a greeting to let me know that you are here. As you come on, go ahead and share this video. I definitely will not be on here very long at all. It is Friday evening, and I know that, we're all in quarantine right now, so we're spending time with family and different things like that, taking time to rest and relax. So I won't be on here long. So when you come on, go ahead and share this video for me. Share it, text somebody, message somebody, let them know that that we are live, and we're going to jump right into it. But again, as you come on, just go ahead and give me a little greeting. Let me know that you're here. Let me know that you are tuned in, that you are engaged, that you are ready to talk, because it's a discussion, you guys. I never want to come on here and just talk. I never want to come on here and feel like I'm lecturing. I definitely want engagement, and I want to talk to you guys. We're in quarantine, so I don't have a chance to do as much social interaction as I'm used to. So when I come on these lives, it's definitely an opportunity for me to just kind of talk and see how you guys are doing. So go ahead and share this. All right, so we are going to jump right into it. So the title, as you guys can see, is Who Are You Supposed to Be? Who are you supposed to be? And I want to have this conversation around this idea, or this phrase that we've all heard. I've heard it plenty of times in my life, and I'm sure you guys have too. The phrase, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Well, when you take on that phrase and you find yourself agreeing with that phrase, there's a little bit of an issue there, right? There's a little bit of an issue. And so I looked up the word beholder, and basically it's the other person deciding what is beautiful. It's the other person deciding what is beautiful. And so my argument is, beauty is not in the eye of the beholder. Beauty is in the hands of the Creator. So beauty is not in the eye of the beholder. Beauty is in the hands of the Creator. As you're coming on, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hey Tiffany, good to see you. Make sure you go ahead and share this. I won't be on long, you guys. I really won't. And I say that a lot, and the lives end up going a little bit longer than I intended to. But again, we're in quarantine, and so my level of social interaction is low right now, as we're all trying to stay safe. So I like being on here. I like engaging with you all. So make sure you share this. So beauty isn't in the eye of the beholder. My argument and my belief is, beauty is in the hands of the Creator. We value what we invest in. We value what we invest in. So right now, during this particular time of the world, there's so many different opinions, right? I mean, you can go on Instagram and Facebook pretty much any time of the day almost, and you can find somebody going live. You can find hundreds of thousands of millions of posts of people's opinions, just doing like a brain dump to the rest of the world on what they think on a particular subject, right? You're bombarded with opinions. But even outside of this time, we are, as a world, we are constantly bombarded with opinions. We wake up, and if you turn on the news and if you look at social media, you're bombarded with people's opinions of what they think, of what's acceptable to them, of what is not acceptable, of what is beautiful, what is worthy, what is valuable. And so it's easy to kind of get consumed in the what the world's thoughts are. But we value what we invest in. And so my challenge to all of you on this live tonight, and those that are even going to watch the replay, is I challenge you to turn your attention away from the opinions of other people and what's happening around you, and actually turn your attention to yourself. Begin to change your perspective. Because what will happen is you will begin to look around you, and your identity will be shaped based on who and what is around you. And now you're living the life through the lens of somebody else. That's what I want to break tonight, is you living the lens of your life and you seeing yourself through the lens of somebody else. Right? Let's be honest. Let's not wear the mask anymore. Well, wear your actual mask when you go out. But let's not wear this mask of, well, the world sees this as a trend right now, so this is kind of what I'm going to do. Or the world sees this as popular. The world sees this as acceptable. The world sees this as beautiful. The world sees this as success. And so this is the person that I'm going to be, because I want to ride the wave of what the world thinks is okay. I want to ride the wave of what the world thinks is popular. I want to ride the wave of what the world thinks is beautiful. Well, I am here to confess and declare that I am no longer that person. I no longer live in that place. I cannot live in that place anymore. I've been in that place. I'm going to be 100%. I was there. I lived there. I lived my life through the lens of other people because I had no idea who I was. Let me tell y'all something. Growing up, I never looked at myself in the best way. When I say never, I mean never. I mean, people would, give me compliments or whatever, and I would look like, I don't see what you see. I don't get it. I really don't. My confidence was so low, and I battled. When I tell y'all I struggled with low self-esteem for so many years. I struggled and battled with rejection. I battled with wanting to fit in, but yet feeling as if I would never fit in. I battled with that for so many years into my adulthood. But about 5.5 years ago, everything kind of changed for me. Everything changed. And I found myself in a place where I had never been before. I had reached rock bottom, if you will. And I had to make a choice. I had to decide, okay, am I going to, make a change so that I don't live the rest of my life in this place? Or am I just going to continue to go on in the same place, looking through the same lens of other people, looking through the same lens of the rejection or the abandonment, the disappointment, the hopelessness that I felt? Come on, tonight is about honesty. I know, that this may not be the thing you want to deal with right now on a Friday night, but I'm really coming for this thing because it's real. I'm coming for it because there are people that are legitimately struggling right now. There are people that this quarantine is not a time of rest and relaxation. This quarantine is bringing to the forefront some stuff that's been hidden in their heart, some stuff that they've suppressed, some things that have been there for years, for decades. And we have to deal with this. I don't want to see anybody come out of this time once this thing passes and come out of this, and mentally and emotionally, you're still struggling and you're still battling. So I'm here tonight to have an honest conversation. I'm here tonight to say, you know what? I made the decision to change my lens 5 years ago. And I knew that's what I had to do if I was going to be who I was destined to be. I could not do anything the same way anymore. And that's what I want for you all. Make sure you go ahead and share this if you have not already. That's what I want for you all that's watching this live right now, for you all that's watching the replay. I want you to change your lens. It's time. It's time. It's time. There's no reason for you to come out of this season of life still bound, still stuck, still in the same place mentally and emotionally and spiritually. You have to make a choice to deal with it. You have to make a choice to bring everything to the forefront and be determined to make a change. Be determined to see yourself in a better place. Listen, we value what we invest in. We value what we invest in. For those of you that are just jumping on, I said this in the very beginning of this broadcast. And the title of this is, who are you supposed to be? We've all heard the phrase, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But I challenge you on that. Because the beholder is the other person deciding what is beautiful. But my new thing is, the beauty is not in the eye of the beholder. Beauty is in the hands of the creator. Beauty is in the hands of the one that shaped and crafted the thing which it created. That's where the beauty is. So no longer do I look to the world to tell me what is beautiful. No longer do I look to the people around me to define who I am, because they didn't create me. They had nothing to do with my creation. They had nothing to do with the gifts and the callings that are in me. They had nothing to do with that. God did. And so I no longer wake up and decide and decide to allow people to tell me who I'm going to be. God has already done that. And that's what I walk in. That's what I hold on to. That's what's important to me. That's what lets me know that I'm valuable. So we value what we invest in. So there are three kind of things that as I think about my journey over the past 5 years, there are three things that really helped me. And I think it will help you too as you begin to change your lens. That's what we're doing tonight. We're confronting this rejection thing. We're confronting this abandonment thing. I don't know who this is for, but I feel it strongly. We're confronting it tonight. Or whatever time you're watching this. This could be for somebody on the replay, but we're confronting it. This is the time. This is the time. We're not going to put it on the back burner anymore. We're not going to hide behind our job, our kids, our spouse, our, day-to-day stuff. I have too much to do. We're not hiding behind our businesses anymore. We're not hiding behind our titles anymore. We're not going to hide behind our degrees anymore. Come on. We are actually going to confront this thing. Because this thing has held you back for entirely too long. There are some of you that literally are paralyzed by things that have happened to you in your past. There are some of you that literally cannot take the step because you are paralyzed in what you've experienced. There are some of you that literally feel as if your life stopped when a certain situation happened in your life. So tonight, I want to free you. Tonight, I want you to know that your value is no longer in somebody else. Your value is no longer in the person that abused you, the person that left you, the person that disappointed you. No, your value is not in them. Your value is in the hands of the Creator. Your value is in God. Your value is in the one that shaped you and molded you. Your value is in the one that put gifts and callings and talents inside of you. And that's what I want to pull out of you tonight. That's what I want you to know. That's what I want you to know. So, okay, let's get into how do we change our perspective? So somebody asked me a question, and I'm gonna stop to answer the question. If beauty's in the eye of the beholder, then how are we seeing the lens? How are we seeing through the lens of other people? So we're seeing through the lens of other people because when beauty's in the eye of the beholder, so if you look up the definition of a beholder, it's somebody else defining the beauty of whatever it is that they're looking at, right? So if we're the painting and you're standing in front of me, you're making the decision on whether or not you think the painting is beautiful, right? And so the painting essentially is getting its value from you. Because if you don't think that it's valuable, then it's not valuable, right? But what I'm saying is that we have to, as people, instead of me looking at somebody to tell me if I'm valuable or to tell me if I'm worthy, I'm taking that perspective off of that person to tell me, and I'm telling me. Because I'm not looking at them, I'm not looking at you, I'm not looking at a person, I'm looking at the Creator. I hope that makes sense. I hope that answered your question. Okay, so three ways to change your lens, to begin to change your lens. So the first way is check your circle. Check your circle. There should be no one in your circle that doesn't push you to be greater. There should be no one in your circle that doesn't push you to be greater. Right? Some of us need to take a lesson from this time of social distancing. Some of us need to permanently distance ourselves from certain people or certain groups because they're not pushing us to be better. They're not concerned with our development. Right? You're welcome. They're not concerned with our development and us being greater, right? So you have to check your circle. Take this time to look at the people around you. What kind of conversations are you all having, right? Are they conversations that focus on the negative, or are they focused on the positive? Are they optimistic? Are they looking to the future? Are they pushing you to be greater and pushing you to be better? I have some great friends, and the relationship that we have allows them to correct me. It allows them to tell me the 100% honest truth, but they do it in love, right? Just because you're in a relationship, in a friendship with somebody, and you have the trust with that person to tell them the truth, doesn't mean that it has to be demeaning, right? So we have to kind of know what that line is, but understand that if somebody is a true friend, like if somebody is really in your corner for real, they have the ability to correct you, but then to push you back out there, right? And to challenge you to be greater. I'm not a boxing fan, but I have watched Creed, so who hasn't, right? And so when I think about boxing, When they're out there in the ring, they have to fight, they have to do their thing. But when they go back in the corner, they have their coach there, they have people there in the corner that's there to correct them and say, okay, do this, don't do that, do this better, don't do that. And so that's what I mean when I say check your circle. Have people that's there to correct you, but have people that's going to push you right back out and say, listen, I know you're hurting. I know you got, scars and different things like that, but you got this. You can do this. And they push you back out there. And all the while you're out there and you're going through life and you're fighting for your family and you're fighting for your future, they are behind you saying you can do it. So check your circle. Check your circle. Second thing, be a student of your experiences instead of a victim. Be a student of your experiences instead of a victim. So I'll kind of just use some of my own story. Yes, Tracy. Tracy said the company you keep is very important. Let's say if you have a long-time friendship with someone, but you feel like you're outgrowing the friendship, how do you cut it off? Okay, so if you feel like you're outgrowing, a friendship, in my personal opinion, I feel like, maybe have that conversation. I don't know how long you guys have been friends and what the history and things have been like for you all. But I feel like, maybe having that conversation. Now, sometimes some things just naturally begin to separate, right? Like, they just naturally go their separate ways, and it kind of happens that way. But maybe again, having that conversation and kind of talking about maybe where your friendship is. For some, that may be the solution. For others, it may be just kind of naturally allowing it to separate. It just depends. I feel like it depends on where the friendship is at this current stage. So I feel like if you all are, still talking very, very frequently and hanging out very, very frequently, it's probably going to be very, very weird if all of a sudden you just, to the other person, kind of drop off the face of the earth. So I think, it just depends on where the friendship is now. And you just have to kind of make, the best decision, because you obviously want to do that in love and, and do it in the best way. So that would be my advice to you. I hope that helps you. Okay, so be a student of your experiences instead of a victim. So coming from my life experiences, I spent a lot of time being a victim. I spent a lot of time okay. I feel like we're naturally moving on. Okay. I spent a lot of my time with a victim mentality. What I mean by that is I was so stuck in feeling disappointed and abandoned and less than and all of that type of stuff that I wasn't learning from my experiences, right? I was so focused on that. Like whenever I felt somebody was giving me correction or trying to help me, I would look at it as an attack. I would look at it as, well, it would remind me of something in my past. It would remind me of something that happened that disappointed me. And so I was never able to receive things. So you have to be a student. You have to learn from your experiences, whether it was your fault or not. Don't be a victim of it, because you don't grow in that. You want to be a student where you can learn, where you can actually look back and say, you know what? That was my fault. I did not do that the right way. I did not say that the right way. I could have done better here. We have a tendency when things fall apart, we have a tendency to blame the other person or whatever parties were involved. We have a tendency to put the focus on, well, they did this and they did that, or they didn't do this and they didn't do that. Let's change that, because that's a victim mentality. You haven't learned anything. You haven't learned anything. Be a student. Look back at what the part that you played. Be honest with yourself about the situation and how you can grow from it. And how you can grow from it. That's the point. You want to grow. You want to see it through the lens of, I want to get better. I want to develop. And so I'm not going to be a victim. I'm going to be a student. And then lastly, find your lane and stay in it. Find your lane and stay in it. So, when you're driving down the street and you're driving on the highway or whatever, and people start swerving into your lane, you're honking the horn like, wait a minute, stay in your own lane. You coming over here, looking at what I'm doing, whatever the case may be, stay in your lane. And a lot of us are so busy focused on what's happening in next to us. We're so focused on what's happening with the business next to us and the family next to us and the ministry next to us that we are not even focused on what's happening in our own lane. So let me give you another example, another driving example. Being in traffic, right? It seems like everybody, I'm going to parallel this thing for y'all. It seems like everybody is moving in every other lane except for yours. Have you ever been in traffic and got over in somebody else's lane because you thought it was moving faster, and the next thing you know, the lane that you just came out of, you see those cars that, start going by. You're like, wait a minute, I should have stayed where I was. Exactly. Stay in your own lane. A lot of times we're looking at what's around us and we're like, everybody's moving faster. They seem to be accomplishing so much and they're doing this and they're getting that and doors are opening for them and nothing's happening for me. So let me try to go into their lane. Let me try to talk how they talk or be like they are or produce a book like they did or do this or do that. And we get so focused on what's happening in their lane that we end up causing issues and accidents in our own. Have you ever seen a situation where somebody got into an accident and clearly they were not paying attention? So they're looking at their phone, they're doing whatever, and they end up getting into a little fender bender accident, running into the back of somebody because they were focused on other things. And so that's what happens with us. When we're so focused on other people's stuff and we're distracted, we end up putting ourselves in situations where now we're delayed. Now we have this obstacle, of comparison, or this obstacle of fear, or this obstacle of whatever, because we're so focused on what's happening in other people's lives that we forget, I'm gifted, I'm talented, I'm called just like they are. And yeah, we might be called to the same arena, but that doesn't mean we're going to do it the same way. Right? And so my challenge to you is to stay in your own lane, find your own lane and stay in it. Whatever you're supposed to do, that's what you're supposed to do. And it's not to say that you'll never deal with feelings of timidity or feeling is what I have to say important? Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, the enemy is going to fight you tooth and nail so that you do not pursue what you're supposed to pursue. The enemy is going to fight you until you close your mouth and don't say anything. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys. I was nervous about doing this live tonight. I'm new to this. I'm putting myself out there in a way that I've never done that before. And so I'm still trying to get adjusted and accustomed to doing this without feeling like I gotta be perfect, right? Because this is the internet, right? So people are gonna watch this video. People are gonna hear what I have to say, right? And so in my mind, I'm like, are people gonna be okay with it? Are they gonna like it? Hopefully I don't say anything crazy. Hopefully people understand what I'm trying to say. All this kind of stuff. But you know how you fight through that? You just do it. You just do it. I'm on here now and I'm fighting through all the nerves and all the feelings of, am I saying things right? all of that stuff that's going on right now in my mind. I'm fighting through all of that because this is my lane. This is what I'm called to do. I'm called to encourage. I'm called to motivate. I'm called to inspire. I'm called to help somebody be free because of where I've walked and the experiences that I've had. And so if I keep my mouth closed and don't speak what I'm supposed to say, then somebody could, not get the freedom that they need. And it's not totally dependent on what I have to say, but I'm saying that, you have the power to help somebody. You have the power to, encourage somebody. And so the longer we stay silent, the longer we just say, well, I don't really have that much to say. It's not that important compared to other people, then somebody's missing out. Somebody's missing out. So that is all I have for you all tonight. Or whatever time it is that you're watching this. Some people are going to watch the replay. So I definitely want to thank you all so much. Let me answer this question. Do we always be a student from our experience? Or should there come a point where we move on from being a student so we can teach others? As you're not coming across as forward. So I feel like you never stop being a student. Now, there's a difference between being a student and dwelling on things that have happened, right? And again, it's perspective. That's what tonight's live is about. It's about perspective. So if I'm a student, I'm learning. There are things that there's revelation that I can get about my past even now because I'm learning. I'm thinking back over as I'm preparing to get on here and do a live, or if I'm speaking to somebody about things, that have happened and I'm trying to encourage them in their walk. I may say something and realize, oh, wait, I didn't even know that. I'm constantly a student, but I'm not dwelling on I'm not attached to the emotion of what happened, if that makes sense. So I'm no longer dealing with the depression or the rejection or the abandonment that I felt. I've let go of the feeling, but I'm still a student. I'm still learning certain things, and I'm still gaining revelation from past experiences. So I hope that helps. I hope that answers your question. Again, never dwell on it. Never be so consumed with the feeling of it. Because when you're stuck in that place, again, it keeps you stuck. It doesn't allow you to move because you're so stuck in your past and the feelings attached to it. But I don't feel like you can stop learning. I think we should position ourselves to be students, to learn, to gain revelation, and to always push ourselves to be better. So that's all I have for you all tonight. I thank you so much for watching this live, for tuning in. If you all did not know, I do a live every week. So I push myself out there to do it. I started on YouTube, so I do have a YouTube channel called Beautifully Made. And I started that channel some years ago. And so that's kind of where I started. That's where I kind of built my platform there. And now I'm also putting Facebook Live on that as well. So here we are. And I thank you all so much for taking the time to just talk with me tonight, engage with me. I really hope that you all learned something. I really hope that this blessed you in some way. And please share this. Please share this. Please share this. And if you have any other questions, feel free to leave some things, even in the comments for this video. And I will be sure to answer your questions. So, all right, you guys, stay safe out there. Spend time with your family. Rest, relax, and remember, You value what you invest in. So invest in your healing. Invest in your wholeness. Invest in you becoming better. All right? All right. See you guys in the next one.